Andrew and Wigan, Simon, could you ask Russell as a writer, what's the best way to get your work seen by others? First question. And also, how soon in Series 1 did you know Christopher Eccleston wasn't sticking around?
To get your stuff seen, it's hard that I go on to, if you're writing, go onto the internet, get into that blogosphere where there's a whole, go onto the BBC Writers' Room, they will read stuff for you. They will literally promise to read every scripts that are sent into them. And also, if you look at the blogosphere, there's a whole world of writers and would-be writers and new writers blogging. And they're all in touch with each other all the time. If something like a competition comes up, if it's on the island of Mull, they will discover it and find it and spread word of it through the internet. So it's a very good system now to get stuff read, which is a very hard thing to do. And as Chris, we always sort of knew where it was heading, that series. It's like you watch it back now, watch it repeated, it's all sort of planned heading towards that regeneration, which was a risky thing to do, but but it worked.
Yes. I remember interviewing him right for the first episode, and then as it came out a couple of weeks later, he was only lasting one episode, thinking, wow, that's an extraordinary thing. You have to go in and do all the promotion for the return of Doctor Who, knowing that you've already stopped.
Oh, we never wanted it to be. We ended.
It was supposed to be a surprise, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of the cliffhangers on this
cliffhanger,
series was David regenerating, and that was finally we got it right. We finally got to shock people with it. We wanted to do that with Chris, but never mind.
Rob, there's a whole variety of things coming here. Rob in Handworth, could you ask Russell if he would consider producing a remake of the classic and very scary 1970s children's science fiction drama The Changes?
Oh, I love that.
It concerned people suddenly feeling compelled to destroy all technology and reverting back to a more primitive lifestyle. A great series that would still be pertinent today.
It was brilliant. Ben's looking bewildered.
Before I was born.
You're too young. That was produced by Anna Hume as well, who was head of children's for many years, and it was brilliant. I wouldn't do it myself because I don't want to do any more remakes for a while. Just because having done Doctor Who, it's time to do something on my own. But children's telly should do that. It's brilliant, really brilliant show.
And having done this and other children's television, would you not want to go back, or certainly not for a while? Where you kind of done that?
It's hard having worked on Doctor, especially with fantasy stuff, because I've worked on the best. I really, really think I've worked on the best one, and I do get offers now saying, "Oh, come and do a show for 7 o'clock on BBC or on ITV," and I just would be, not working to the same standard. I think, because I think Doctor Who is literally the best show. So, no.
There was a nice moment in the book where you're talking about the dialogue between you, the emails going back and forth about the German that the German Daleks speak, and I don't know if it stuck with this, but certainly the emails suggest that the German that they speak is translated via Babelfish.
Yes,
which of course was the creation of Douglas Adams. One of the great writers in this. I mean, was that deliberate, or did you just think Babelfish, that'll do?
No, I knew Babelfish as a translator, but I knew also that Douglas Adams had invented the Babelfish. It didn't stay as that. It was someone in the office then translated it properly, and I sat there thinking, I rather like the fact. I think the Daleks would translate via Babelfish in their computerised minds, but sometimes you don't quite have the nerve to defend something.
Yeah, you'd got letters.
Yes. We did anyway. People said it was wrong anyway. They always do.
Do you think then that there might be? I mean, just thinking more about Douglas and what happened eventually with Hitchhikers, is there something bigger, better, bolder in the movie area which could be done with Doctor Who, which might tempt you back in?
It could be, you never know. And do you know what? I loved that Hitchhikers film. It had really bad reviews and didn't do very well. I thought it was lovely. Bits were wrong here and there, but it was a really nice piece of work. So it's a bad precedent for a Doctor Who film in a way, in that it's a piece of British science fiction that was considered to have failed. But I absolutely think it will. I think we deliver 14 movies a year to BBC One.
Ben, do you think there's a big screen version of this?
I think there's the potential there. I mean, there were a couple, everyone's forgotten, there were a couple of Doctor Who movies in the 60s. The first of which especially was very, very successful. And Doctor Who's about as successful again now as it was during the sort of height of Dalek mania in the mid-60s. So yeah, there's potential there for a movie, definitely.
Peter Cushing was the Doctor.
Yeah. You don't want to go back down that particular avenue. He has that kind of. He's not a member of the establishment now, is he? I mean, he is that maverick. He is
that you wouldn't go.
The wild card.
Yeah.
Although I'm not sure he ever was, actually. It was established at the very beginning that he was on the run from his own planet, from his own race. So he's always been a bit of a
it's funny.
Yes. This Dr. Russell is lonelier, though, isn't he?
Yeah,
or he might always have been lonely, but this one is showing us how lonely he is.
Absolutely, because and that's why I killed off the Time Lords and made him the last of the Time Lords, was to give him that stature, because he's so powerful. He's such a powerful figure. He travels in time and space. He's practically immortal. He can change his face. He's never going to die within a story, let's be honest. And so you've got to find something that gets you into the character, that gives you a twist. And I didn't realise at the time quite how resonant it would be. I just thought Last of the Time Lord sounded like a great title. But as I got into that and started writing it, it just started to echo and gave both Chris and David a sort of, well, a definite loneliness and then a need for people. You know, you look at a man who travels around in a spaceship like that with a human at his side, you sort of think, well, he needs that girl, doesn't he? He needs that woman beside him. Why does he need her? And then you start to extrapolate from that and explore the relationship from that, and it sort of became deeper and richer, and then you get such good acting with it, and it's really paid off that.
He could always find another Time Lord, couldn't he? I mean, I know you've killed them all off, but
They
hey,
did.
you know. I know the Daleks have been wiped out before. Oh, there's another one.
And there was the Master, who disguised himself as a human, but
Yes.
he's a monster, that man.
So would it spoil it if in the future they discovered another Time Lord?
I'm sure they
Or
will.
a host
You know,
of them.
I think I'll be watching Stephen Moffat's Doctor Who one day when the physician walks through the door and say, I'm alive, I hit myself in a time bubble. And I'll be going, no, damn, he's
You'll be on
ruined
the
Doctor Who.
internet registering your complaint.
I should be writing
within
to the Simon
minutes.
Mayo show saying,
Yes.
please can you answer my question?
You'll be
Stephen?"
calling the duty officer. You'll make up a different name.
No, I'll go to my own name.
It's David T. Russell, and I'd like to complain. Eamon in Cambridge, could you thank RTD for that fantastic and disturbing moment in the Turn Left episode when the immigrant family were taken away by the army and the great Bernard Cribbins said, it's happening again.
Thanks.
On the BBC Who site, the child reviewers do a fear factor review, and one of the younger children asked, what does he mean? And an older child explained about the Holocaust. Education through family entertainment. Great stuff.
Thank you very much. Yeah, that was an amazing moment acted out by Bernard Cribbins and Catherine Tate and Joseph Longs. But yeah, I think that's part of, well, I think that's what drama does, full stop, actually. It's never safe and comfy and nice, and that was a chilling scene. And I've got a whole drama I could write about
Yes.
that one day, my belief that, you know, we look at Poland in World War II and sort of think, well, it could never happen here. Of course it could. If these banks collapse, we'll be plunged into a society like that before you know it.
Is that
It's
a
cheery.
prophetic word?
It's a cheery thought, isn't it? It's like,
Bernard Cribbins, what a fantastic piece of casting from your good self, presumably. But what
Wow.
a great, you know, we
Just
need
me.
to be reminded sometimes that these guys were great actors and still are.
it was amazing with Bernard. You saw that when we started working with him, he's so brilliant. I remember we were on set on his first day, and you sat there going, why isn't he on every day? Why isn't he in every Dickens? You know, all these bleak houses and Little Dorrits. Where's he been? I actually think Bernard has quite a nice life, and he goes fishing and does sort of documentaries about stuff and voiceovers, and he has a very nice, he picks and chooses what he wants to do. Fortunately, he had a lovely time with us.
It was, we mentioned J.K. Rowling earlier. There was one of the Harry Potter films started with Eric Sykes,
Yes.
and he
That's
came
right.
in and talked about it. And he had his book, and you're thinking, he's still got it as well.
Yeah. And the story, just listen to Bernard Cribbins tell stories about the Beatles. You know how he met the Beatles and Brian Epstein and things like that.
You've had some good
Amazing.
conversations, haven't you?
He's a good man.
We'll do a few more minutes with Russell T Davies, Benjamin Cook. The book is The Writer's Tale, the untold story of the BBC series. More, and they've got a forward by Philip Pullman. How about that? How did you get that? Especially as he says he's never met you.
He's a fan. He's another fan.
That's how it works. Okay, a few more minutes, and if you have any emails, it's mayo@bbc.co.uk, and then we're going to be talking about the latest fantastic paperback from the New Scientist, another one of these Why Don't Penguins Feet Freeze books. The latest one is Do Polar Bears Get Lonely? And 101 other intriguing science questions, some of which may well turn up in future Doctor Who episodes. You never know. It's 5 Live, 2:32. Matt, thank you very much indeed. It's 22 minutes to 3 o'clock. Russell T Davies and Benjamin Cook are here. They have written The Writer's Tale. It's a series of emails between them telling the story of Doctor Who. Big chunks of script. I mean, huge swathes of script. We can reenact this in our own homes, can't we?
I'd like to think you will. You'd be a very good Donna.
Thanks very much.
But also, it's raw script. It's changed from the finished version. It's like, there is a website where you can go and get the finished script free, thewriterstale.com. But the point of the book is to see me every night actually forging it
Yes.
out, then changing my mind. So it's pure and unedited and rough in places.
And have you had to change and take anything out because it might give too much away about what's happening in the future?
Little bit, yes.
What
yes,
have you
yes.
taken out?
Nice try. And plus, we're not half as much to be able to take out the swearing. Oh my God, that was a lot of words.
Swearing in emails.
Wow.
What's the
late
point?
at night,
Russell
two
likes
at
to swear.
Doesn't it
two.
take more time?
2 at night. You're fed up with everything and like pulling it all out.
Russell's one of the best swearers I know.